Say your name and how old you are.
How old I am?
Yeah, you don't have to.
Okay, then I won't.
Okay.
And I grew up in, as I say, in East Chicago. It was a town where the steel factories were there, and the next town was Whiting, Indiana, where the refineries were there. I was around the hardware store, and there were kids around the block. We used to go and play, the kids lived on the block.
Came time, I was in high school already. My father just said, it's time that you go to yeshiva. So he took me up to Chicago.
I thought I'd go into accounting, or I'd be in the business world, and it didn't turn out that way. I ended up being a rabbi instead. I was in yeshiva. I'll never forget, it was a Friday afternoon. It was just before Shabbos.
Right.
And the davening that night in yeshiva was just something I'll never forget. And then we went out and we were dancing in the streets. And then on Sunday night, they had the Chicago Stadium, which held, I think at that time, about 50,000 people. And the place was jam-packed, and outside the stadium was another 50,000 people. I got in on the inside, and I'll never forget when they unfurled first the American flag and then the Israeli flag, and everybody was standing there with crying, everybody crying, old men were just crying, and they had sent in somebody from the Palmach, and he spoke, and then they passed the plate, from funds to help. Nobody put coins in. Nobody put coins in. I'll never forget that night. Finally, that here is a Jewish homeland. Something that my family, had that existed, and maybe many more would have been saved. When I left yeshiva, I went out to Cheyenne, Wyoming, just to be there for the High Holy Days. And they persuaded me to stay, and I stayed there for 2 years. And there were Jewish girls in the congregation, but I wouldn't date them. That's a dangerous thing to do. So I used to run down to Denver. And then after 2 years, I said, this is ridiculous.
I decided to come to New York to look for my Bashert, and guess who I found? Rabbi.
And then Nathan came along, and you came along. And then Judy came along. It was, some very good things. What you don't like about it is sometimes the politics, and sometimes, when you have to deal with people who at least appear to you as not being sincere about, they want their particular way. They're not interested in what is the right path, so to speak.
Right.
And they're not looking for you to give them any guidance. They are going to guide you. Monkeys? I don't know, why did I? No particular reason, it was just that I just did.
But what compelled you to move on to elephants?
Elephants, they're bigger, stronger. I'm proud of, thank God.
I've been blessed with a wonderful wife and children. And grandchildren. A lesson for life, I say. Live a good life that you can be proud of, and that you can have your children and grandchildren follow in that good path of life, living the good life and being a good person and helping others as much as possible. I like to be remembered as a good grandfather, a good father, a good person, one who could be of some help to anyone in their needs at any time. We're proud of our being Jewish, and we hope we can be a source of inspiration to others as well.